there is a separate section which is about cost cutting and personal finance. I found when I started this thing 2.5 years back in the just after the first COVID lockdown, I found that doctors were repeatedly first COVID pandemic and lockdown was an entire crisis scenario for the entire doctor industry across pandemic thing. And I found some doctors, and then I started with one-on-one consulting for about 2 years. And I found that most doctors were doing some repetitive mistakes when it comes to cost cutting and personal finance. And these were very simple things that you can actually use. That doctors were simply not aware about it, or they are not even thought from those angles, or they simply, because doctors are so much, have to read so much of study related to medical stuff. So they doesn't even know what these are things are. And during the one-on-one consultation, I found these were some repetitive mistakes that doctors were doing and not even thinking from these angles. And these are the places where you can cut the cost of your monthly things, and save some money here and there. Because in order to run the clinic, you need to actually shell out money on an ongoing basis, whatever ups and downs from your own pocket. So these were certain things I found, which is discussed in the cost cutting and personal finance section. Certain key mistakes that doctors were doing repetitively when it comes to personal finance, or they were not even thinking about from these angles, or were not even aware about it. Like there are gold mutual funds. So there are doctors, like in the first COVID pandemic scenario, one of my doctor client was his clinic was inside the red zone. So the clinic was in the COVID pandemic, first pandemic, was closed down for 90 days, 3 months. Now, this doctor's clinic was in Navi Mumbai area, and in Navi Mumbai there is a 11th month's deposit. The rents and deposits are huge. Now, what the mistake this doctor did was he have parked all his emergency savings, all his emergency planning inside mutual fund. And the day the COVID pandemic and lockdown was announced, that very second, the entire stock market started falling down. So whatever mutual fund he have invested in, the NAV of the mutual fund, because the stock market was falling down, so the NAV have also started falling down. Now, if those who are aware and not aware about it, whenever the stock market falls, immediately the prices of gold and silver also increases immediately. So every time there is a stock market falling down by crashing down by 200 points, 300 points, the gold and silver index, the gold and silver prices will start shooting up by another 50, 60, 80 points, right? And this will happen all the time, every time. So if the same doctor, instead of putting in whose clinic was locked in for 3 months inside the red zone of COVID pandemic, if he had parked his same emergency savings, the gold mutual fund, or a silver gold coins and silver coins, and put it inside their bank vaults, he would have direct cash flows inside time. And while doing the one-on-one interaction, I found majority of my doctor clients were not even aware that there are gold-based mutual funds also. There are mutual funds who collect public money, and they spend in the gold. They buy gold-related stuff. So they rotate it inside gold, just like a normal mutual fund rotated inside the stock markets. These gold mutual funds use the money pool inside the gold thing. And many of the doctor clients I found, they were not even aware about this, that okay, there is a gold mutual fund also that exists. And forget about how you can prepare from this, learn from this doctor's experience, that parking your emergency funds in as much of the gold silver asset, because whenever the stock market will fall down, your gold and silver prices is going to shoot up. And it's not going to be very high return of investment, but it gives you that security to balance portfolio, the safety and security in the worst case scenario. Your emergency funding, whatever is the 6 months or 3 months emergency savings, that have to be in the cash liquid thing, and that have not to be, ideally should not be parked in the gold things, in the normal mutual fund or anything directly related to stock market, which can be very volatile. The concept is anything that's directly into mutual fund or stocks, which makes it very volatile for the everyday fluctuations on these kind of crisis scenario. So simply, if you are aware about these concepts and these things, you can plan your personal finances things according to your requirement. And there were certain about 12 to 13 cost cutting techniques I found, which doctors in a small clinic setup can easily implement it. And doctors really, my doctor clients during one-on-one consultation really loved it, liked it, those ideas. So this entire section is cost cutting and personal finance, where we discuss about 12 or 13 of the cost cutting thing and another many of these personal finance thing, which were the key concepts of gold mutual fund and what to do and what not to do, proper retirement planning. Those old doctors who are thinking about the retirement thing, how need to do. I found majority of the young doctors who are practicing their clinic, they are not even putting in money on their pension funds. If the same doctor, for example, if you are working for a hospital, you get a fixed paycheck every month because you're a employee of a hospital. Let's say you work for a hospital in the morning hours, in the evening hours you work for your clinic. So if you're working for a hospital, you get a fixed paycheck every month. Out of this fixed salary, uh, your PF, pension funds and retirement funds, are deducted or at the source itself. uh, but if you're running a clinic setup, when you have irregular source of funding, you have taken such a risk, you have invested in those dental chairs and costly interiors and all these things. When you have taken such thing, then you need to be more cautious about building a retirement fund, maybe a pension fund or NPS or IRS, whatever way you have to. And the thumb rule is, how much is the thumb rule? So I found many of the young doctors who have started a new clinic, who are my clients, they were not even thinking about building saving every month from the every month from for a healthy retirement funds and PPF and IRS and things. So these are another things that you need to. This was a key mistake I found, that doctors were not even thinking in their things. These kind of small tips are there in the personal finance tip, that you need to build those funds, and then you can continue with whatever bank or things are. But you need to brainstorm in these things angle, that at least you are not doing these kind of mistakes which other doctors are actually doing, right? So as on now, I'm not selling anything related to mutual fund, IRS, and things. Uh, I I do intend to go with the gold IRA solution, but as on now, I'm not selling anything related to it, because my personal savings are all security and stability loving person. So when uh, um, it will be majorly parked in the gold coins and gold, and I have a bias towards security and stability. So gold, real estate, and everything that's very secure and stable, that's what I really love about everything. So I do accept my bias towards when gold coins and silver coins. This is very easy to actually, whenever you have some extra pocket money, buy the half gram gold coin or silver coin, and that's where you can actually start saving money, pocket money, and rather than wasting here and there. So that was another. That's what I'm personally biased, because I'm redoing everything in my life at the age of 44. So security, stability comes very important to me when it comes to personal finance and cost cutting. So once you are aware about these section, you can plan your cost cutting. Maybe you will like some idea, or at least you are aware about it. Maybe personal finance, are you doing the same mistakes or not? Fine. And the personal finance is hardly the cost cutting is hardly 12 videos, and personal finance is hardly about another 10 to 12 of such videos. So you can actually continue with your own bankers and relationship managers. I'm not selling you anything, but I'm just letting you aware that these are the things that I found during one-on-one consultations. The doctors were repeating the mistake, not even aware about it, not even thinking from those angles. So at least you can. This will help you avoid. Uh, Save a lot on your cost cutting and personal finance, and plan it mentally in your mental calculations.